forces of Lankerfen turned the tide of battle at the gates of Mirgard. Without their aid, the Gold Horde would have undoubtedly broken through Mirgard's stout gates and defiled the dwarves' ancient homeland. The dwarven Efor, Halfgrim, met with Connacht in the great smithy. It took no time to establish an alliance between the two nations, but convincing the dwarves to relinquish their most holy of relics was more difficult. Yet in less than a week, Connacht's army began their return to Lankerfen with 100 dwarven demolitionists in tow. Returning to Lankerfen, Connacht strode directly to the main forum to meet with the smiths of Myrkridia. Traval stared in disbelief as Connacht handed him the Ankaric Toman. True to his word, Traval and the smiths began construction of a Tain. The complexities of such a potent magical device were almost too difficult to master, even for the smiths of Myrkridia. There were many failures, some more destructive than others. After months of sleepless work, the smiths met with Connacht outside their smithy. There they delivered to him the most inescapable of prisons, one that could snatch away a foe and hold him indefinitely within its confines. A Tain. Now, armed with the legendary device, Connacht left to gather his troops and lead them north into the dire marsh. Forging an alliance between the Dwarven Kingdom and the Cathbruig, it took little to convince the Emperor to let Connacht keep command of his forces from Mirgard. The Dwarven demolitionists, upon their arrival in Lankerfen, went about making barrels of their explosive powders. Disaster was narrowly avoided one night when a messenger entered the Dwarven camp carrying a lit torch. Soon after, the potency of the Dwarven satchel charges were demonstrated before the Lankerfen troops. They were indeed stunned by the devastating potential of the Dwarven concoctions, and somewhat fearful upon seeing the demolitionists' wide grins and gleaming eyes at every explosion. Upon completion of the Tain, Connacht gathered his forces and made haste north into the dire marsh. His troops thought him mad to engage the Myrkridia on their own lands, but followed their general into the dark swamps. Within hours, a pack of Myrkridia appeared out of the mist and charged the army. Connacht leaped to the front of his forces, holding only a small jeweled box in his outstretched hand. With the salivating Myrkridia only yards away from the army, a bright flash lit the haze and enveloped the devils. And then, the light was gone, taking the Myrkridia with it. The army stood staring, dumbfounded. Connacht held aloft the device and spoke to his troops. "This is a Tain, and with it we will wipe the Myrkridia from the face of the world." With the power of the Tain, Connacht's forces became unstoppable. Legions of the devil beasts were imprisoned within the Tain's hungry maw. Those few Myrkridia that escaped being trapped within the magical oubliette were hunted down and slain. As the army approached the northern extents of the marsh, they spied a black spire jutting from the marshy landscape. Fortress walls surrounded its base, and mobs of devils and undead lurked about its embattlements. Connacht, shaking himself from a daze of memories, pointed toward the spire and said to his men, "The object of our mission lies within."
Oh yes, we actually get to use the Tain on the Myrkridia. This is gonna be sweet. Okay, I've had a chance to rename everyone. And let's go off. Let's find some... There's some Myrkridia right here. I'm gonna show off how incredibly broken the Tain is. And how fast it recharges. Oh man, this is gonna be so good. I've sort of had a chance to rename some of the units. You might want to pause the video and see if your name shows up. And we've got a bunch of dwarves. But who cares? This mission is all about Connacht and the Tain. There's a Myrkridia up on the ledge here. Let's continue demonstrating how much fun it is to use the Tain. Look at the range on that. You can play around with units invincible, and it's not as much fun as using this thing. Now I do have a bunch of archers and dwarves, but I'm not going to be using my dwarves too much, and this is why. Because it's raining, the dwarven molotovs will go unlit in midair. You really have to have a direct hit on a unit to damage them, and it's just not worth it, especially when Connacht's around, and using the Tain is so much fun. Now here's an interesting test. What does the Tain actually do? Does it draw bodies inside it and miniaturize them, or does it just steal the enemy's soul or something? If it just takes their soul, what happens when you use it on a soulless? Well, it pretty much just kills them, but still draws their body bits inside? I don't know, it's a little weird. I'm trying to bring my archers up, but they're kind of far back. It's really tempting to just have Connacht go all Rambo and do this whole mission by himself. The only danger in doing that is you might have noticed I have no Heron Guard. So any damage done to Connacht is permanent damage. And honestly, that's the only source of difficulty in this entire mission. The fact that you can't heal. Oops. So there's this giant lake. We can go one of two ways. I'm going to choose to go this way because it's a little more difficult, a little more interesting. But I'm Myrkridia. Oh, so much fun. So broken. So what I'm going to be doing is I'll just use Connacht to move forward and then keep all of the units behind him, just in case he needs to bail them out. Any danger? Okay, there's a Myrkridia are just guarding around here. I don't think they'll become attacking me. However, these soulless are in a place I can't get at them with melee, so use the Tain. Something interesting here is going to happen, though. Aha. There were 2 white explosions. That means there's whites in these waters. And I don't want to cross them. With a bunch of the units I have, I don't want to risk having to get whited unless I absolutely have to. Okay, taining that one guy seems to have triggered all of them to come attacking me. We'll fight kind of a fighting retreat here. Oh, seriously, you have no idea how much fun it is just to Tain things away. Moving forward. More Myrkridia? There's only one answer to what to do here. Come on. Get more into range. Once Connacht starts bringing out the Tain, it doesn't really matter how far away the enemies are. They just get sucked in, even if they're running away. One more straggler here. Now, I guess there's a reason you might want to not use the Tain on everything, because it doesn't count as actually kills at the end, so Connacht's not getting his veteran status, which got wiped again at the start of this mission. When he became Shaved Connacht, his veterancy and all his kills were wiped, which I guess kind of makes sense. It was a different unit model, having his unit veterancy wiped in this mission is a little annoying. I don't know what the hell this thing is. This just square in the ground here. Maybe they didn't expect you to go this way. I don't know. Now I know that there is a group patrolling around. I'm just waiting for here they come, I think. Yeah. Myrkridian Giant! There's only one solution. Tain it! Haha! Even Myrkridian Giants can get sucked in by the Tain. Ah, okay. This one is a bit too close, though. I'll just use Connacht once he starts fighting back. There we go. Yeah, Connacht got a little injured there, but that's okay. That Myrkridian Giant is the biggest piece of danger on this, going down this path. I should be fine now.
Got it. Yes.